Bismillah ar-Rahman Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of streams lined up for you guys. You get me? Today we're back as well with another Liverpool stream later on tonight at 11. So there's a lot of stuff planned, a lot of stuff coming your way. Please do make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Do make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single person locked in right here, right now, please do subscribe to the channel. And if you're watching this as well on the replay or right now, every single person who's on our channel today, their channel is in the description. So just go give them a subscribe, go show them support. You know, everyone that we're about to introduce, all their channels are in the description, and that's where you can find more of them if you would like. So yeah, big up to every single one of you guys. Please do hit the like button on your way in. Do subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. And joining us first and foremost, he actually isn't a fraud, to be fair, because he actually could make today's stream, because he wasn't. I was about to insult him there. But anyway, joining us on the channel is man like Marshall. Hi, Marshall.
Big up, Husam. Thanks for having me. Good to be back and ready to talk some football, man.
Big up to you, Marshall. And joining him as well, you know, another guy represented in this Chelsea thing, because all Chelsea fans are available now that are actually, yeah, because they're good now. Suddenly all of them are free in it. Man like Andrew's in the building. Hi, Andrew.
Hey, I was here in the trenches. Don't you can't label me that. I was here.
No, you are right. Please stop with the clap.
No? Okay. No more claps. No more applause.
You wanna know the problem with the applause? It's like 7 seconds long. Like no one has to.
Yeah.
Hey, bring out like a
clap.
Like a quick one, you know?
I'll work on it.
Now there's 5-hour claps, you know.
No more applause.
Oh God, big up to you, Andrew. And joining us last but not least, you get me, representing the infamous bottle job. He's already commenting on my, but why should I put up his comment when he doesn't put up my comment when I comment, huh? It's crazy, right? I go support my brother from Spaces. He don't even put up my comment. He don't even say big up Don Husam. He don't even say nothing. He just leave me in there. Just to leave me at the dead with the other commenters. But anyway, regardless, joining us on the channel is Mr. Durag Diaries. Working with him from Spaces from 2 years ago, all those cook sessions. And today, here to talk about what Spurs did last night and the pressure on Ange. Man like Jordz. How you doing, Jordz, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Big up to you, Husam. Big up to everyone inside. And do you know what about the comments thing? I'm still getting used to hosting. Do you know, it's a bit like trying to pay attention to the comments, pay attention to it's a lot, you know. It's people don't get as hard. It's
just click the comment. That's it. See?
No, I bet George just has the private chat on and doesn't have the. No, I bet he don't know. When you open StreamYard sometimes.
Wow, Andrew sending shots already.
No, I bet some. No, I see it when StreamYard pops up. The private chat sometimes opens up first before the.
No, but why don't you stand on business? Say yes, I am sending shots at Jordz. Why are you trying to act like all nice and stuff? Don't act like a nice guy.
Why are you trying to stir?
Because you're not a nice guy. You're an asshole. So just own it.
Yeah, but I don't need you. I don't need your help. People know I'm an asshole. That's fine. I don't need your help.
Perfect. See? So own it. Big up. Listen, big up to all of you guys. Locked in already. 150 people in the building. We haven't even started talking about the football yet. Let's get to 100 likes ASAP. I see all the mods locked in. I see everyone locked in. Let's get the likes up. We can't be on 33 likes, guys. Yeah, stop this shamelessness.
What is that?
Speaking of shamelessness, are you done?
Definitely in agreement in Husam. You need to cut those to like 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Yeah. Right. The problem is your sound effects are too long.
Seconds. Yeah. They're supposed to stand out.
Here. This is a long sound. Yeah. This last 2 minutes.
That's what it sounded like at the theme song.
Can I play it?
That's our theme song from last season.
Here we go. 2 minutes. See how it's going.
Yeah, we can talk over it. That's the good thing about it.
You see, for one, I'd be happy right now, but I can't get in the vibe.
Basically, Marshall, what they're saying is you
Actually, the guy made another song, and that's perfect for the last panelist on today's stream.
Oh, shit.
Alex Martin is in the building. Hello, Martin.
Hi, boys.
See, I would have given you a
Jumbo
plug, but
to
I was
everyone. I don't know what it
restricted.
means, but I assume it means good luck, Arsenal. Hope you do well.
Yes, I have no idea what it means either, but regardless, I love it. Big up to all of you guys locked in. And listen, let's just get the party started. Jordz, you were at the stadium yesterday.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
Do you know what? It's just, as you guys know, and as I know more better than anyone, it's typical Spurs, eh? It's just typical Spurs, I guess. We give an amazing performance against City, and we pretty much go with the same team. I think the only changes were Archie Gray in at left back, Madison on the bench, and Kulusevski back into the middle with Johnson out on the right. And it was just lackluster performance. We went 1-0 up, won the penalty really early, and it was a good start. But then after that, I guess we started to let them sit a bit deeper, let Roma build into the game, and they just took advantage of us. I think the back line, as I've said after the City game, we had a good game against City, and they missed a lot of chances, but that back line was never going to last. It was never going to be good for 3 or 4 games in a row, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. We conceded from a set piece early. They got a second goal, and to be fair, all the 3 offside goals they had were all very similar. They're all coming from down, from the fullbacks, just leaving in space in behind. And we held a good line for all of them, fair enough. But it was early signs that if you're letting that happen from early, they're going to eventually get the goal. And that's what happened. We definitely played better than them. There's no doubt about that. We should have finished our chances. In the second half, we failed to get that third goal. And everyone knew in the stadium, we need that third goal because they're getting too many good counterattacks, and ultimately that's what happened, man. Last 90th minute, they got another corner. We dealt with the corner. It's typical Spurs. It generally is typical Spurs because at that point, I was literally sitting there. I was going, they're gonna get a goal if we don't make a change or Ange doesn't, bring another defender in. We're gonna drop points in this game, and that's eventually what happened. Ange was naive. I feel like he should have learned in the previous games that Archie Gray, he's not a left back. He can cover at right back because he's right-sided and he's done that for Leeds. But playing at left back, that's a completely foreign position to him. It doesn't work for him. And every time in Europa League, teams are targeting him. And I'm not mad at him as a fan because that's not his position. He's a young kid. We're trying to make him play in a position that doesn't work for him on the opposite side. And that's exactly what happened. We got killed down the left-hand side time and time again. And it was poor, man. It was generally just a poor performance. There wasn't really nothing I can look back on and say that we deserved the points. Hummels absolutely, he pocketed Solanke. Solanke had nothing for him yesterday. I know he gave away the penalty early, Hummels, but apart from that, he put in a very solid performance. And considering that was his first game of the season, guys. He hasn't played all year. He's been on the bench. None of the other managers challenged him. He come in for this game and man of the match performance absolutely pocketed him, and we lost all the 50-50s. So for me, when I look back at the game, it's one of those things. Yet again, I'm questioning the mentality of the team. I'm questioning whether they get too happy in the moments against the Man City game. They're all elevated and it feels nice, but they need to know after that night, that win means nothing. You've got a game in 3 days. You need to focus on and you need to be ready for. Stop thinking about that win in the past. And I feel like they get all too caught up in the moment, enjoy the wins, and then never ready for that next game because we can't go on a run of games. The one thing that's a problem with Tottenham right now is we can't win 2 to 3 games in a row. It's one win, then a loss or a draw, and then one win, then a loss or a draw. It's consistently inconsistent, and that's what's stopping us from making progress in the table.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you just said perfectly. The most consistent thing about Spurs is inconsistency. You know what I mean? Was it? I remember they brought Claudio Ranieri back. For Christ's sake, he was retired.
Is Andrew's mic bugging or is it just me?
I thought it was me.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was me too.
Mic is bugging.
Let me log in and do it again.
Yeah, your mic is
I think
bugging.
the thing about Spurs is that they can drop this. They can drop this lead, but no one will cook them because it's just normal. It's par for the course, right? It could be
that's the
Arsenal
consistent
lost a
thing
lead
about
like
them.
that, and we would get dunked on for days. But because it's Spurs, it's they got their win. They're happy for a while. They'll win again against someone unexpectedly, and then they'll lose against someone that they should have beaten. So it seems to be par for the course with Ange because he doesn't. I don't think he's down for managing game states, George. I think, I mean, you know what it's like, right? Like he doesn't want to change when he's got a lead. He just wants to keep scoring goals.
It's exactly that, because there's always points later on in games when, you know, managers recognize we need to secure the win here. Let me bring on another player who can, you know, cover the back line, and you just get deep at times. You need 3 centre backs in there just to cover the corners, to get their heads away. He doesn't do that. He doesn't even think about it. He's like, oh no, we need to continue playing our way, mate, right till the end of the game. And that's what he's on. And ultimately, that's exactly why we lost, and that's why we dropped points in these games, because we're not managing the game and we're not trying to make those little tactical adjustments in the game to add to the team and help them. And like you said it, man, he's the downfall of him.
What did he say post game or something? Didn't someone ask him about that, and he said it's about entertainment or something? What did he say?
Do you know what? I think the stuff about what he said post game is a bit tongue in cheek. He's getting a bit annoyed that everyone keeps referring to, oh, do you just want to be an entertaining team, or do you want a team that gets results? Obviously, he wants to get results, and he's made that very clear in the past. But because he keeps getting these same questions over and over, he starts to play into it, and he starts saying, yeah, we want to be an entertaining team. Yeah, I'd rather go see us have an entertaining game than lose one, than just win 1-0 or draw 0-0. Like, he's just playing into it at this point. But I do think you're starting to see Ange does lose his head in press conferences. He doesn't respond well to certain questions. He's only human. But he is showing that trait quite frequently recently. Like I say, when we're losing these games, he tends to go into these press conferences and doesn't really have much to say. I wasn't happy that he's not addressing the problems, like when asked if we're not creating enough chances for Solanke. We're clearly not. Solanke doesn't get good chances. If anyone watches the Premier League this whole season, you can't sit there and think, oh, Solanke scored goals, but all his goals have been rebounds. They've been, you know, it's just fell to him in the box. It's not been Spurs creating a chance for him and open it up so he can, you know, take advantage in front of goal. So
isn't that a bit odd though? Because considering like you guys' downfall has been you create so many chances but you don't put it away, and that's been like the narrative for the last few months that you guys have been in this form. So what is it? Do you guys create enough chances, or is he not getting enough chances?
I don't think it's like he's been arriving at the right areas. Maybe because that's where Ange wants him. Because with Bournemouth, he just stayed up top, and everyone else did all the defending, and he chased everything alone, and maybe like Billing would overlap.
Is it my mic all right now? Is it?
Yeah, you're good now.
It's George. Do you reckon there's too many? What I'm saying is cooks in the kitchen, about too many people in the middle. Like Son wants to be in the middle, Madison wants to be in the middle, Kulusevski wants to be in the middle. Do you think there's like too many? Like
there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, but there's no main chef. That's the problem. There's no one who wants to take that position and be the head chef. Because, like, I've looked at my team and I say there's a lot of nice guys. Everyone knows that, you know, Sonny's a nice guy. Like Kulusevski, when I watch him, he has everything I love about a player. He's so good. He has all the ability. But he's so selfless in front of goal. You never see him drive through players and then want to shoot, want to score. He's always passing off the responsibility. Same thing for Maddison. And it's really surprising from him because at Leicester, we watch time and time again, he's scoring 30-yarders. He's the guy that wants to take that shot. He wants to take the ball. He doesn't do it at Tottenham. He shies away from the responsibility. So right now, although we create chances, we have a lot of players shying away from the responsibility to take the game from the scruff of the neck and make something happen. Son, 3 years ago, you'd watch him against City, and he would run the game. He'd literally give him the ball. Even Chelsea, you guys know him. You give him the ball, and he's going to run down that wing and cause problems. Now, you give him the ball, and he doesn't have confidence in himself taking on a player. He doesn't know. When he shoots, it's like he's just doing it for the sake of it, like just because the chance is open. It's not, I want to score. He doesn't look himself, and he's getting older, so it's fair enough. But we don't have any of those players where they've got the arrogance, like, you know, Husam remembers Mane and Salah. They're both fighting for that golden boot. They're not even passing to each other. They're like, nah, I want the goal. That's what I want in my team. You need that toxic, like those toxic traits in players sometimes where they want to make it all about themselves, because eventually that's what carries your team forward and makes them better. So we're missing that.
Yeah, you do need leadership in that team. You do need that competitive edge. I just don't think you're going to get it with your owner, right? So in the end, like, Ange has to manage how he does. But what I wanted to ask you, Durag, was what do you think is a solution for Ange to, you know, right now you guys are consistently inconsistent. So how do you fix that? How do you manage to keep consistency? At least get 2 wins on the trot, because right now it's win, drop points,
You know what?
win, loss, win, drop points.
I do think Ange does have, like, I will take some of the responsibility away from Ange and say there is a squad issue. Like, the players coming in that are replacing the first team players we're missing. The likes of, look, we got no Van der Ven, no Romero, and then we're missing our depth players like Richarlison, Odegaard, Vicario's out. Like, we're missing a lot of players, and the players that are coming in for them just aren't of the quality that we need to challenge at the top 4 level. These players are all mid-table players that could probably fit in at Fulham, at Bournemouth, but they shouldn't be playing in our first team. So I do think in January, in the summer, we need to address those issues. And really, we haven't supported Ange enough to provide him with a squad that can challenge on all fronts, because we're getting killed right now. No Van der Ven, no Romero, no Vicario. I mean, any team, they would suffer like that. And last season, we suffered the same way. And right now, we're suffering just as much. And we didn't provide enough depth in the summer and last January to even cover.
But you are.
Where are you with this whole Ange conversation? Because I know you're in with the civil war regarding your club. You obviously know, because Jordz is not going to sit up here and act like he doesn't know what's happening in this fan base. He knows.
Oh, yeah.
He knows about the Ange civil war happening right now. Where are you with this whole Ange conversation?
Well, as I said, after the City game, the first thing I said, no, even a few weeks ago when people lost when we lost against Ipswich and the whole conversation was getting heavy, is it Ange in, Ange out? I said, mate, I'm buying more stocks at this point. When the stocks get low, you're supposed to buy the dip. You invest more, and that's exactly me right now, Ange. And I mean, I'm reaping a reward off that City game. It felt really nice straight away. It shows the level of what this team can be, and I believe with the right players, if we go in January and address some of these problems, Ange will take this team forward. I think Ange is the man to carry this team forward. He needs to learn. I don't think he's absolutely, like, he's not. He can be scrutinized for some of the things that he does. I criticize him for his in-game management and his tactical adaptability. He needs to get better in that sense. But I'm definitely Ange in. He's the man to take this team forward. I don't see any other managers in world football I look at, bring him in and he's going to be better. And you need to give someone time. He's in his second season. He's been here for 16, 17 months. People do seem to forget that. And this is the post-Harry Kane Tottenham. Last season, Tottenham weren't expected to do anything. We finished 5th, achieved better than what we were supposed to in our first season. And this year, yes, I expect us to get 4th and win a trophy, because that's the expectation that the manager has set. We need to win a trophy this year to show that we're steadily progressing. If we finish 6th, then I can have a conversation with you guys and sit there and say, you know what, we might have to look at other managers because the team's not progressing, but we need to look at it the end of the season. Right now, I'm fully Ange in and I'm behind the project that he's taken us with.
I respect Jord's opinion and I agree. Go ahead, Martin.
He's a very talented manager. Works with players which aren't rated and turns them into like decent performers. But I think what you guys really lacked is any kind of leadership and consistency in the midfield. Like, you just keep rotating between Saar, Basuma. I guess Bentancur is suspended now. Like, you had Højbjerg before that, Skip. Like, it's just, I don't think there's a central core there which will give you any kind of defensive stability until you address that issue. I can't see much changing. You'll have very good attack and then people will just run through you for fun. So hopefully Ange gets the players he needs before he gets sacked. Otherwise, you guys will be starting the adventure again.
Yeah.
The reason why I said I agree with Jordz is, listen, prime Mourinho, prime Conte, hell, even Nuno Santo is doing a good job now with Forest, didn't really work out. And they all have, there's a common denominator and all this, and it's the people upstairs for me. I get to the stage 100%. Where I genuinely believe we, and I mean us 5, could get into a room, sit on a bunch of laptops and have a better transfer window for Spurs than they actually have for themselves. I think, I'm even talking about someone like a Manu Kone they could have got on a free. I'm talking about there were so many actual options in the market. And they decided to literally just go get Bergvall and Archie Gray for about 60 million combined. You're better off spending that 60 million on one player that's a game changer. By the way, as we've seen with Dominic Solanke. Dominic Solanke has been fantastic this season, even when he hasn't scored goals. The way he links up play, the way he gets involved with his teammates, the way he passes the ball around, the way he brings Son into play. Like, when Son plays with Solanke, he is so much better. And you could tell that's because of Solanke's overall play. That's why I really like Solanke as a striker. I think he's a fantastic striker. And that's my point with this whole conversation. At the end of the day, you have to look at the people up top. And I feel like Spurs fans are hypocrites. Because when it was Mourinho and Conte, they were talking about the style of play. And Jordz remembers what I'm talking about. Oh, it's boring. It's not the Spurs way, blah, blah, blah. But Habibi, now you're playing gung-ho football, so why are you bitching? Also, you're 3 points away from Enzo Maresca, fantastic Chelsea, and Mikel Arteta, fantastic Arsenal. And oh, look at Brighton, how good they are. You're 3 points away. Why? I hate when people act like Spurs are so far away, like, oh, they're 20th. If Spurs were in like Man United's position, I'd get why certain Spurs fans would be like, Ange out. But right now, it makes no sense because you're setting, and I feel like standard is the new buzzword where everyone like, you have to have standards. Habibi, don't set standards that are too unrealistic for your club to achieve. Like, with all due respect, I think Spurs' best case scenario is top 4. Like, absolute best case, phenomenal season, you finish 4th. But if you finish 7th or 8th and win a Europa League or win a Carabao Cup, build Ange's statue. Because he did something that a lot of people failed to do.
Calm down now. Calm down. No statues voted for winning a Carabao Cup. I mean, one day Ramos won a Carabao Cup. If he wins Europa League and he finishes 7th, then I would, to be honest, if he wins Europa League, I don't really care about the position in the league that we finished.
Because you get to UCL anyway.
It's a trophy.
Then he definitely gets a statue.
You get to UCL anyway. So if we get to the point in the season where it's April and it's Europa League or league, I'm telling him, put all eggs in Europa League basket. I want a trophy. Europa League is better than finishing any 4th. And look, and I see he's laughing a little, Arsenal fans, but they ain't even tasted the Europa League. So it's a bit funny coming over there. You know?
Those days. When you try and go for Europa League and top 4, you kind of like you're stuck between this rock and a hard place. And this is what like undid Emery, where he was
Arsenal had that same problem a few seasons ago, but that's my point. It's not easy to do Europa League and top 4. It's a very hard challenge. And a lot of teams, that Thursday, Sunday football, if you haven't got the squad for it, like we're suffering right now, it's hard. That Fulham game on the weekend is not going to be an easy one as well.
But I disagree a little bit with what Husam said in analysis of the recruitment part, right? Like, I think the recruitment is a problem, but I don't think, Bergwall or Archie Gray are necessarily like problems. I think you guys spending on the youth is a good thing because you need someone to take the mantle.
But do you know that Spurs spent more money than us over the last 5 years?
Everyone spent more money than you. Over the
last
5
years. But look at it this way: they've had a higher net spend than Arsenal, than Liverpool, and I think.
That's actually, because we don't sell, though.
But Husam, for me, the problem is
when you spend that much money, spend it right.
No, but net spend, that's what I mean. Come on, man. Net spend is a made-up thing. No one cares about net spend. It's all
Here we go.
Well, of course, because it doesn't suit agendas, right? But like,
net spend is a made-up thing because clubs aren't looking at net spend. They're looking at other ways to balance the books. They're going to do that through sponsorships and so on. It's not going to be through selling players.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it, right? You're right, but like going back to the recruitment, right? I think the problem is when you guys are buying players like Timo Werner or even like, listen, I know he went through a little purple patch, but Brennan Johnson, I think, is still up in the air whether or not he was worth the signing or not. So
100%. That was horrible money. Horrible.
Yeah,
money.
So there's still questions
we
on
like Cole Palmer for that money. Literally.
Well, yeah, I mean Cole Palmer wouldn't have gone to Tottenham, but that's besides the point. I'm just saying, like, it's just. I think you guys recruiting the youngsters like Archie Gray and Bergwall, I think those are going to be really good players for you in the future. But you look at Yves Bissouma, has he stepped up to the plate yet? It's still up in the air. You look at Timo Werner, bad transfer. Brendan Johnson, like there are some players that you could have bought with that money that could have made an impact now.
Timo was alone. We didn't buy him. Just so people know in the chat.
Is he still alone now?
Yeah. He's still alone. There's no option to buy or anything in that. He's alone, just straight loan.
Okay.
And he could be getting sent back in January. I heard, hopefully, because we've got a young boy from Korea is supposed to be coming over. Yang Min Hyuk. We signed him in January. Again, another young player that we're focusing on. But that's
question though, because I am actually curious with Vicario out for what seems like it's going to be a little bit. Does Tottenham go into the window in January and get a goalkeeper? So I mean, based on your experience,
that's one of my problems. Again, what Ange just said. Apparently,
I don't think so.
He said he puts full faith into Fraser Forster, which is crazy. But I do think that there becomes a moment when that's when the board has to step in and direct the football. I'm sorry, but that's when the board should step in and club and say, no, we're going to sign a young keeper in January because we want to prepare. Forget about Ange and so on. I don't want to be seeing Fraser Forster, and you've got about 7 or 8. You got a whole 7-a-side team of goalkeepers.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I think
it's
if
for
we're
the
going to
moments
sign
like
a young
these.
goalkeeper, I'm looking at like James Trafford or Bazunu or something like that. Like someone who's young who can come in and impact straight away.
Yeah, Fraser Forster can't be it.
I even like, I think as Sam said earlier, that Kona, I think he's only on loan at Rome. I think they got they could sign him next summer or something like that. That's an exciting talent to bring in because he was exceptional.
Roma has a lot of good players. Like when I didn't realize how many like good players
they're just
they had in there too. I don't know why they're
just
performing so bad.
They're just underperforming. It's a good team if they can get them right. But I mean, that Fulham game. See, you should be. The thing about motivation and the mindset, it's probably right about Spurs that they got themselves so up for the game against City, like they usually do. And then the Roma game, it should have been the easiest thing for Ange to say, or to try and get the guys.
I can't lie to you. When I was speaking to Mo, he was saying, "Listen, Spurs are going to beat Roma. Roma's crap." But
yeah, they are. They are, Husam. They just re-signed. They just hired Ranieri again.
The good thing for Jordz is, though, apparently, according to what's happening at Spurs, it's like one game is shit, one game is bad. This means they're going to beat Fulham this Saturday, or this Sunday. So that should be a good thing, the way that they're operating.
The thing is, though, yesterday wasn't necessarily like terrible. As I said, like Roma I think they caught us off guard, and it was just complacency. We should have won the game, but a draw isn't so bad, though. I'm not gonna sit here and I don't like people trying to paint news stories that it's like a terrible result. It's not a terrible result. We're still in a decent position. We lost one game in Europa League. We're now over all of our hardest games. We've got like Hoffenheim, Elfsborg, and Rangers left. Like these are 3 teams.
Rangers overtook you last night by a point,
and that's fine. If we can get 2 more wins, and then we should be good, and we'll finish in the top 8.
You can't with your squad take another extra 2 games to playoffs in the Europa League. You can't do that. your squad can't do that. It just can't handle that at this time. It's not going to be able to do that.
Don't have the facilities, brother.
Yeah, that would be mad. that would be mad.
Okay, let me just do a couple of these super chats before we move on to the rivals of Spurs, Arsenal Hotspur. Big up to Aaron, who says, like the stream for Martin. Yes, make sure you guys are liking the stream for Martin and for Jordz and for Andrew. The 4th guy with the soundboard. I'm not going to say anything in it. So just go subscribe to Casual FC in it. So, yeah. Big up to you regardless. Thank you so much, Aaron, the general. And remember, Aaron, as well, there's something I'm going to say, inshallah, today before we start the Liverpool stream at 11, because I do have a certain thing to say. But tune into that. We have a Liverpool show planned. Ram, JJ is on, Jamie is on, Mike Das is on, and I don't want to forget someone. Shit, who's the 5th guy? Save me. Someone saved me. Wait.
You don't know these guys.
And K-Mac is on. Yes, Mr. Kelleher himself is on. Let's go. Arsenal Jabbo equal Arsenal fell out, and Arsenal Lule equal Arsenal tumbled. Naijano de carry last. Hey, oh yeah, now let's go. Big up the Nigerian massive who watch me, man. Big up to the Nigerians. You get me? Shout out to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Oh yeah, now shout out to Kunle. Actually, not shout out to Kunle. Kunle can hold that. Joe Gomez title-winning form. Run it back. If we start that porn star at centre back this Sunday, then I don't even know what the hell to say. Please start Gomez. Please don't start the other guy. Please.
Oh.
We can't have someone. We can't have someone who's DMing Astrid Wet. Start against Erling Haaland. He might get confused, to be fair, because they look alike. So we don't need Haaland. You get me? And that's certain Chelsea content creator, maybe he will get confused.
When Haaland's doing that hold up play, man's got a smile.
Hey, if it worked for Nico Jackson, he got afterwards pictures, and now he's like 20% conversion rate or something.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, no. So Spurs ain't creating enough for Solanke, but we have scored the most goals in the league. I will take that, is what Mark is saying. How do you respond to that, Jordz?
No, 100%. When I look at our team and I see like we've got the most XG, we've scored the most goals, I'm surprised myself because when I'm watching the games, I'm not convinced that we're the best attacking team in the league, but clearly we are. The stats don't lie, innit? Apparently so. We're the best attacking team in the league, and that just goes to show how bad your teams are.
Or how bad Ange is at defense.
how bad our teams are, brother. I'm top. What are you talking about?
I mean, I have Johnson, Solanke, and Son like in my attack. It's not like an amazing attack. It's pretty poor.
Yeah.
Kulusevski, don't forget Kulusevski.
Yo,
carries
Spurs have
that.
scored more goals than us. Fucking hell.
We got 4 more goals than you. I'm pretty sure. Like we're well ahead in the league. We got
Three more goals. Relax, not 4. 3. But we have conceded 5 goals less than you, though. Hold in 12 games. So that's a big ratio, to be fair. So yeah, that's why we're top. Also, you couldn't beat Roma. We beat Madrid. We're not the same. Also, remember the biggest moment in your club's history belongs to Liverpool Football Club. I hate bantering.
We will be there.
I hate bantering Spurs because I'm so much above it. But what I'm saying,
What a day.
I took over 10 screenshots of Arsenal fans celebrating Konate's injury, waiting for Arsenal's downfall, not injury-wise, but on the pitch. Scummy fan base. Listen, I'll tell you something. You have to behave, Redline at Teranga, how you were brought up and how you should behave. I didn't celebrate Rodri's injury. I didn't celebrate Odegaard's injury. I don't celebrate anyone's injury. I always wish people speedy recoveries. I wish Rodri, who makes the most dangerous team in the league 100 times better, a speedy recovery. I don't do the shit of celebrating injuries. I don't want any player to be injured. I want every single team in the league to have all their squad fit till the end of the year. So I wish Rodri a speedy recovery. Also, Endrick, you can go fuck yourself. You're never going to be the next Pele, the next Neymar. You're just a shit player. And I hope that they loan you out to Getafe and you fucking never make it at the top level. Big up to you, Redline Teranga. Anyway, big up to everyone locked in. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. We're actually at 115 likes. Let me refresh with 130 likes. Man City are getting charged. This is a sign from God. Like the video. Let's get to 200 likes ASAP. We have 500 people locked in. Like the video now. Go subscribe to Saad's Football Corner for more of Martin, Casual FC for more of Andrew and Marshall. And please do go subscribe to Durag Diaries. Let's get Jordz to 1K subscribers. This guy's at day 1, man. I've known him for like 2-3 years now. So go subscribe, show him love, even though he doesn't put up my comment. Let's talk Arsenal. Martin. You see the question in the title. It is not a shameless question. It is simply the question that's being asked right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out TK. Are Arsenal Odegaard FC? What's happening over the last week that's so different? Or, because I had this argument with Dio, or do you think Arteta has just switched up the way that he's played for you to score 8 goals in 2 games?
Start of this Redline Taranga, all these guys celebrating injuries, like I think that's all bullshit. I hope that Ibu has a fast recovery. I'm sad for him because he looked like he was starting to get some like running games together and starting to get the respect he deserves. So it's not what you want to see. But also, Liverpool fans, relax about Arsenal fans. I don't know, maybe there's a couple of guys on Twitter that are triggering you guys, but most Arsenal fans don't want a war with Arsenal with Liverpool right now. I think maybe we can do that second half of the season in the title race. But yeah, it just seems to be everyone's overreacting to like small comments. I think there's a lot of Arsenal fan cope saying that Liverpool will fall off. And yeah, that's what you have to do when you're a fan base that you want to still be in the title race, to find some like justification that you still believe. And yeah, so we'll just skip past that. Are we Odegaard FC? I think we are several players FC, Saka, Odegaard, Saliba. If we lose one of those 3, perhaps even Partey this season, we're not going to look the same. But Odegaard is criminally underrated as a player as far as his importance to the team. And there's like entire Tactico accounts on Twitter that are dedicated to minimizing Odegaard's effect. I think No New Thing is one of those guys who just comes out with a new Odegaard agenda every week. So, you know, I just block these guys. I just keep moving on. Odegaard, everyone saw it when he was playing against Sporting. He had that ball in a string. They couldn't even get near him. And when he's playing like that, it's crazy. I think you can keep him quiet. You can shut Odegaard and Saka out of the game, which is still a weakness in our structure. But I don't think Arteta's changed anything fundamentally. I think he always wants to be the team with the ball on the attack, but if we are not that personnel-wise, we have to find another way to play. And not many other managers like Ange or Pep will do these kind of modifications when perhaps they have to. You know, I think that we've seen a lot of that kind of pragmatism from Arteta even since day 1, when he started with a bunch of crap and we lost 10 games in a row because we were crap. But it is what it is. I think Odegaard is our best player. People say Saka, and there's been fights over that. So yeah. It's pretty borderline.
I definitely say Saka. I still say Saka. I still think Saka's Arsenal's best player. And actually, I think the last 2 games have proven that a little bit. Because Listen, when I say Saka's better than Foden and Palmer, I'm referring to the Saka I see over the last 2 games. That's the real Saka. That's the Saka that
When you see the Saka of the last 2 games, Saka can only be that Saka because Odegaard's there to put the key in the lock and unlock it. Like the way they link up and the way that he.
It's also just it's not just about scoring goals. It's about the other part of the game that you have to do positionally, press, defensively, leadership. Odegaard brings all those intangibles that a lot of teams wish they had right now, and you don't really get any stats to back that up. It's just a feeling.
I think you just need to look at the goal to see how they linked up. That little 1-2 that they do, that's literally them. They've done that goal so many times. I've seen it 20-30 times between them at Arsenal, where they just do these little, if it's not him and Saka, it's him and Ben White. That little link up is just what Arsenal, they thrive off that. And if he's there.
But Jordz, can I reverse this question on you? If Saka was the one out for the last 6-7 games, do they even win any game?
Yeah. I still think they'll be able to win games. They're not gonna get through it as good. Like missing Odegaard, Saka's gonna be a huge miss as well. But I think that they would have won some of those games that they lost.
Wow! So you think if Odegaard played and Saka not, that they would have won some of those games?
I just feel like Odegaard plays in a position where he can have more impact. He can actually control the game. And where Saka, obviously, he's out on the right-hand side. Sometimes if the ball's not getting to him and then they're not creating for him or giving him the ball in good positions, then he can only do so much.
Can I give you a crazy opinion? If Saka's out till the end of the season, Arsenal don't even make top 4. So I'd rather have Saka than all the other Arsenal forwards put together. If you tell me right now, you can have Havertz, Martinelli, Sterling, Jesus, and Trossard together, or just Saka, I'm taking just Saka. That's how highly.
I agree.
No, I'm being serious. That's how highly I rate him. And you know what it is with Odegaard? This, and Martin might not like this, but I feel like this also goes back to the manager, because no one can convince me that it's just Odegaard back. These last 2 games, it feels like Arteta has just freed them from the shackles. Like, yo, guys, let's play ball, bro. Like, because Timber is so high up the pitch, Calafiori is so high up the pitch, it can't be just that, yo, someone's back.
I agree.
Like, they're actually fully playing different now.
But when people say that we're fluid, I think they're talking about the Odegaard factor. Like, he's the connection between back and front. He's the brains on the field when Arteta needs to change one of his formations or we're trying to do something special. Saka can get the job done in a game. He will get you a goal or an assist, and it might be a game-winning moment. Without Odegaard, he'll do that from a corner, or he'll do it from beating his man. But when we have Odegaard there, everyone gets better. The whole structure makes more sense, and it sings. So
I was thinking that it's not a one-man team. I just don't think Arteta knows how to properly plan or play without Odegaard.
Yeah, he doesn't have a system that doesn't include Odegaard.
I thought because Odegaard's the one profile in the team that he doesn't have. He doesn't have no one like Odegaard who can play in the 10. So whereas Saka on the right-hand side, I mean, he hasn't got players like him, but Jesus can do a job out on the right. Raheem Sterling can be a problem on the right. So they've got players that can, still have an impact off there. But in the middle in that 10, you saw Trossard in there. He's shit in the 10. He's just shit. And same with Havertz. He can't play in the 10. He doesn't have an impact.
That's something he has to learn, and that goes to squad building as well, or not trusting 100%. His bench, which he doesn't really trust. I don't think he trusts his bench a lot, because every Arsenal fan was going and play the kid there, or at least try him out for a few, and he refused.
Yeah, but Ranieri has the attacking elements of Odegaard's game, but he doesn't have the other stuff.
Right,
like
but the thing is,
when we don't have the ball, he's in between 3 men. He's not calling players to positions. It's a very different situation.
That's when you go across. That's when I bring up 2 things about squad building and actual his trust in his like outside of his like 18 players or something like that, where he's shown that in the past where he's not. That's where your players got tired a lot during the running sometimes of the league season, because he was playing every like Saka in every game and something like that. But going back to Odegaard, I think what's going to happen with Odegaard, I think he's going to be more appreciated after he retires, Odegaard, than actually what he is right now. Because
I could see that.
Like, apart from a couple of seasons ago where he added the goals and something, he's not going to be like up there like as top scorers or assists or something, but certainly made the last 2.
So, Andrew, who do you think Arsenal's best player is then?
Oh, you bastard. Yeah, damn it.
You thought you could get away.
Because Martin says Odegaard, I say Saka. You can even say a third guy. It's your opinion.
I would take, if you ask me the better question, ask me who I'd take, and I'd take Saka. In the
Andrew, can you stop with these bullshit ass answers? please.
I
Who's
think,
Liverpool's best player, Andrew? Mo Salah, done, bro. Just answer. Yeah, who's
That's
Who's
easier.
Arsenal's best
That's
player?
easier to answer.
That's an easy thing to say. You can't say
Yeah,
that.
because obviously the reason why you take Saka, not Odegaard, is because you have bloody Palmer. So forget
Okay,
you as
no,
a Chelsea fan.
I listen. I like Odegaard. I think
He's the most
underrated.
important player.
I think Saka is the best Arsenal player. I think.
Yay! Finally, we got there, guys. Vote Andrew. You get me? He's running for PM. You know, vote for him. The Tory bastard.
Oh, who's the best Liverpool player?
Rob,
No,
Can we get the
flipping
opinions of the
Luis
others as well, Andrew? 1 second. George, who's
Yeah.
Arsenal's best player?
I say Odegaard.
Marshall, Ty.
No, I'm gonna go. Can I explain why?
Yes.
No.
Okay, cool. No, not allowed.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Saka because, like, I get that, you know, George is right. Like, Martin is the key, but he's the key in the system. And Arteta didn't have this system the whole time. It wasn't until the last 2-3 seasons where he finally had the system because he had an Odegaard. Prior to Odegaard being in this team and being in this system, Saka was carrying the team. So I think for the longevity of it, it's got to be Saka.
See? Fair?
Good point.
But there's no winning. You didn't win. There's more
Odegaard is
opinion.
very. Marshall's right.
There is winning, to be fair, because it's
I'm more
3v2.
surprised. I'm more surprised not many people said Saliba because Saliba's probably just as he's probably just as important.
Gabriel's been better than him for the past 2 years. That's why.
Oh,
Gabriel's
way on.
been better than Saliba the past 2 years.
George, you go on spaces, and you know that there are Arsenal fans who actively say Gabriel's better than Saliba. You know this.
Yeah, but I think slow.
It's not even a wild opinion, to be fair.
It's not-
He's only
he
been
was
getting
very
that
good.
point since he went Turkey and got a new hairline. If he still had that mashup hairline, they wouldn't be saying that, man. I'm telling you right now.
Maybe you can get Romero to Turkey and I don't know, give him some dye his hair. Or something.
Fix this bozo gene. I don't think they have that transplant.
No, they're good together, those two. It's very hard to rate one above the other because when we have one of them out, it just doesn't really work.
He's
Takes
too
that
angry.
place,
He
he
seems
doesn't
like
even
he's
know.
stressed every time he comes on the football pitch, man. Like he's really coming out there to release some stress. Like I don't know, maybe they need to get him in some boxing classes or something, man.
So where do you guys think Arsenal will go from here, guys? As well, let me start with George because obviously he's very objective about Arsenal. Where do you think Arsenal will go from here?
You've got me on a good day, man. As you see, Martin talks objectively. If we had someone else like a gal, I'll probably be cooking today. Where did Arsenal go from here? I think Arsenal, they just need to make sure that they start to pick up some consistency because the one problem that they've had so far this season, again, they've been consistent across periods, but they've won on that a couple run of games. And as we said, we've seen them drop points more often than we did last year. And these red cards, I hope they've got that out of their game for their. If they really want to be serious about the title, they need to make sure that they're not so aggressive and silly in those moments. But they've got a few easy games coming up, so they need to just make sure win. They build some confidence, get wins in the Champions League because it's going to be interesting to see if they can finish in that top 8. Because if they're 8-16, then who knows how far they can go in there and see how serious they are. But I don't look at Arsenal, to be honest, to see that they can win something this year. I do generally think that the squad lacks. Like you said, a few key players missing, and just like Tottenham, they're not going to be that good. Of course, the drop off isn't as bad, but you're only a few points out from being in a top 4 race. So it's important that going through this Christmas period, especially up to January, you guys just go on a strong winning streak if you want to be serious and challenge Liverpool.
I think they've got to keep Liverpool in a single digit distance from them. If it goes double digits, then they're praying that Liverpool drop like
We're the leopard in the tree.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they've got to keep you in. Shut up.
You're not a leopard in the tree anymore. You're the tree.
Chop that tree down. Chop that tree down. Get a chainsaw. Get a chainsaw and chop that tree down. That's what it is.
Hey, the elephant
You guys
was
are
in the
enemies
tree
of
first,
progress.
so I don't know about
Enemies of
this.
trees. That's what I'm enemy of trees.
We're here to make paper.
No, but they've got to get them. Anyone
There's a
else-
video of me and Egal that actually depicts this really, really, really well. That's who Egal is, the bloody hyena.
That's what I mean. That hyenas, no, But while that hyena hasn't got the dinner, it's got you in its eyesight. That's what Arsenal.
Yeah, but then there's a lion, Habibi. Yes, he's a torn up lion, but it's still a lion who can win 15 in a row, who can kill all the leopards.
Just in case, like, you know, a limb drops off.
Yeah, can I tell you guys just quickly the next 7 Arsenal games? I have a conspiracy. Okay, these are the next 7 Arsenal Premier League games: West Ham, Man United, Fulham, Everton, Palace, Ipswich, Brentford. After that, they have a couple of tough games: Brighton, Spurs, blah, 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 and Villa. But I'm talking about these 7 in a row. I have a crazy opinion. Arsenal must not drop a single point in the next 7 games. They have to win every single one of those games. Yeah. Now, Arsenal will drop points from now to the end of the season, and that's okay. They can still win the league even if they do drop points at some point in time. But those 7 games specifically against teams you are expected to beat that give you no competition whatsoever, like a Fulham, like a Man United, Crystal Palace, shit clubs like that, you're expected to slap. Because when Liverpool were doing what they're doing, Martin wasn't one of them. But when Liverpool were doing what they're doing, it was Liverpool had an easy run. Okay, now is your easy run. You have to take advantage. If Arsenal drop points at any point in time, in the next 7 games, I'll be the first to probably say that I don't think they're in it anymore. And even if they draw or something, because you have to somehow manage to go on some form of run. Like that's just how you can be actively in a title race. What's stopping City from spending the GDP of a country in January and then going and winning 10, 12 in a row? So you have to be ready. That's my point.
No, you're right. They have to be literally perfect now because of the way you've started. They have to everyone has to be perfect now. Everyone, City and Arsenal have to be perfect and hope you even draws are good enough for them because it gets them close to you. But they have to be perfect. You're right. Draws are actually sometimes worse than defeats. You know what I mean? In 2 games, I'd rather win 1, lose 1 than draw 2. Because I get an extra point.
Across 7 games, I'll be real. All Arsenal need is for Liverpool to drop points in 2/3 of them. And if Arsenal won 7, City won 7, then they've closed the gap enough.
Arsenal have to lose their job as well, Jordz.
No, that's what I'm saying. So if Liverpool drop points in 2 to 3, which is still a big if, I think they'll probably drop points in 2, and that might be 1 loss, 1 draw.
3 draws.
I don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I think even dropping 4 points.
They could though, but
can I give you a prime example of this? After West Ham Wednesday, they play Man United. Let's say Liverpool go away to Newcastle and draw. If Arsenal draw with Man United, what's the point? What's the point of like the Liverpool tough run is here? We have the injuries, we're dropping points, but you can't take advantage.
You have to take yourself out of the day-to-day narrative of the Premier League table, which is unfortunately very hard to do because you're always like doing subtraction and addition. But we need to focus on ourselves. We need to get above 90 points to have any chance of winning this league. And I think out of the 26 games left, that means that we can win 22 and draw 4 of them or something like that to make that target. So potentially there is a chance that we can drop points and still be in the title race, but it doesn't feel like it from any standpoint. I think the players need to feel like they're still in it, and if it gets too far, it will just become like impossible. So the day-to-day thing is important, and we can't let them go to double figures. You're right, Andrew, and I don't think it'll happen. I'm actually predicting a City-Liverpool draw because I don't think City can afford to.
You predicting or hoping, Martin? No, that's the predicting and hoping is 2 different things.
Well, everyone else has gone for a Liverpool thrashing. So whenever that happens, I know that never happens, right?
Like what Martin said is exactly why I'm the leopard in the tree. I'm the underdog. Hey,
you're the underdog in first place.
You guys do your own thing. Listen, I'm not supposed to be here. Whether you guys like it or not, Arsenal was supposed to be in my position.
Mourinho's little horse. 13, 14.
Can we stop waffling now? Arsenal was supposed to be in my position this season.
Yes, they were.
I wasn't.
They were.
You were.
Can we stop lying now and can we actually say the facts? I really wasn't supposed to be here. Can we actually acknowledge this?
Okay,
so I do shows with all 5 of you. If I did a show with all of you in August and I said, guys, December 1st, Liverpool will be top of both Prem and Champions League group, you'd all laughed in my face. Yeah. So why the different energy now?
No.
I don't think we would have.
Different facts representing some.
Maybe not Champions League.
I feel like you have to look at it like
this
isn't the first time we've seen a manager come in his first season and take a team and push them on. Especially a team that's already won the league. Like when Conte come into Chelsea, he took that team on instantly and was pushing them on.
There is a difference.
It can happen. I just think that we didn't expect it because Arsenal, like I said, was supposed to be the team.
And can I add another? Because any manager that you're going to mention that did well on his first season signed players. We signed Chiesa.
That's a big one.
Where are we going with this bullshit, guys? This is why I run the underdog narrative, by the way. I know what I'm doing. Bro. I'm trained for this YouTube shit. Let me tell you something, yeah? I'm trained for this whole world, you know?
In many ways,
I am a season veteran. Because every example that you can mention, Mourinho came to Chelsea, spent money directly to improve Chelsea, who were already in a top 4 team.
Yeah.
Antonio Conte bought 3 or 4 players, you know? Everyone who improved a football club bought players. We bought Chiesa. Can we be serious?
Let me caveat that. The difference is when those managers come in, they came in with completely new systems. Claudio Ranieri's system to Mourinho's system that first time was a whole new system. Conte's system from Mourinho was a whole new system. Slott's system from Klopp's isn't that much different. He can use a lot of these players in the positions and roles that he needs them to, and so he didn't need to sign that many. Plus, Klopp hasn't actually been in charge of the signings for a long time. We all know that's been all held above board. So Liverpool prepared for this by bringing in a manager that could play the Klopp system. So this adjustment would be so easy. They predicted this to happen, and let's be real, it was very good planning from the board. You have to give FSG their credit, man.
Sam, what Slot reminds me of is actually when we signed Ancelotti, because we only signed Zirkov that summer. We didn't sign anyone else. That's
Yuri Zirkov, you know.
Yeah, no, that was the only guy we signed.
That's a football bingo name, by the way. That's how everyone remembers Zirkov.
What I'm saying is, we had an aging squad like you have, you know, in terms of, but it was stuck together. That's what Slot's is actually like Ancelotti when he came to us.
Okay, but before how long before Ancelotti were Chelsea league champions?
3 years. We hadn't won it in 3 years. So
don't lie.
No, because we won it in 06, and then we didn't win it till 10.
Okay. He took over Avon Grant, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Fair.
We took over from Phil Scolari and Gus Hiddink.
Scolari, yeah.
Oh, Scolari was so shit as
At
well.
the start of the season, I predicted
Fair,
Liverpool.
even then, Ancelotti
Liverpool
CV
was
before
second.
Chelsea.
Oh yeah. It's the CV. The CV is
2007 Champions League winner, multiple league winner with 2003 Champions League winner with AC Milan.
Yeah, I'm talking about manager coming into the league and not like spending any.
Guys, I am not reflecting pressure from my club. I'm actually being objective, genuinely. You know, because with just one signing of Federico Chiesa, we already finished 3rd anyway last season. No one expected us to be here. Like everyone just cut the bullshit, bro. I don't like when people act like, oh yeah, I was expecting Liverpool to be here. No, you weren't, Habibi.
No, the reason I'm saying this is, you know, I'm an elite Arsenal hater. I expected Arsenal to fall off. That's all it was.
I said Liverpool second, and Slot is in a perfect position because he's got a squad that is like full of world-class players, and he doesn't have expectation on him to do anything. So it's like a no-pressure win-win, basically, and that's where you guys are.
I do agree with you.
What's that?
I do agree with you. He does have no pressure whatsoever. I'll be sorry.
I mean, is that really true though? Like, okay, no, Chelsea are not in the same situation.
Do you think the fans or the board would turn on him if he finishes 3rd and win?
No, I don't think so. But like, if you were to capitulate this big lead, that wouldn't look too good on Arne Slot. I mean, you still the goal is still the goal, right? Like you.
Yeah, but think of timing though. Keep timing in your mind.
It's too early for people to get mad at him and be like, "This is first."
If we were doing the same exact video in March, I'd shake your hand. But it's fucking December.
Yeah,
I know, but on paper it would still look disappointing. Like it would still look bad.
Marshall, if there was 4 games left and we're ahead by 9 points and lost that lead, then you could.
No, that makes sense. And the other thing too,
you
like
could say proper choke artist, right? You could have a go in then. But right now, if he loses the lead right now, given that Canate's now out,
early.
Canate's out now.
The injuries. I always said this. The injuries are going to affect him.
Even if he lost the league, people would say he didn't buy anyone and he wasn't expecting in his first season.
Well, especially if they don't buy anyone.
But Martin, you notice how I didn't change my energy? I'm saying that now, even when we're top. I still think if you ask me what we need to do to win a league title, I tell you stay fit and sign players in January. We still need to sign players, you guys. Like this
January
is
going to be
there's far more pressure on the 2 teams. Well, 2 of the 3 teams below him in terms of on Arteta.
Is it fair to say most pressure on Arteta, or am I doing a bad?
100%. Most pressure on
Arteta.
Most pressure is Arteta. Yeah. It has to be.
No one else.
The most pressure this season is 100% Arteta. I feel like Arteta should know that right now. Like these, like I said, these next 10 to 15 games is it should be his job on the line. Really,
it's like what
is there any other manager under pressure in the entire league?
Yeah, there's a lot of managers under
Yes.
pressure. I think Arteta's the one with the most pressure right now because he knows that this is
100%.
his season,
Who else
and he
has
can't go
pressure?
5 seasons and not win. I think at this point, because
Who else? There's pressure, Ange,
Yeah.
as well.
But it still is like
Yeah,
Second
second
season, he says he wins stuff.
Maresca's under pressure too.
Maresca's under pressure because of who the ownership is.
Yeah,
Very
but
likely.
the
We have
right
to be honest.
get
The
top
expectation to finish top 4, yeah.
Yeah, so they probably want to get top 4. I think any relegation battle manager is under pressure. By
I think
definition.
Emery might
probably
be feeling
have no
pressure soon.
pressure this season.
Emery might-
Some might
Amorim
even
for
say the
sure.
likes of Lopetegui is under pressure because West Ham spent a whole shitload of money.
Yeah, Lopetegui. I forgot.
So
he's
I'm
still in
not
the job.
claiming Arteta's the only manager in the league with pressure on him. I'm simply
Yeah.
saying you're supposed to be me right now. I'm not even supposed to be here.
Is that how
Yeah.
football works? I don't think
That's
anyone
not how
expected us to
football
be
works.
there in the first place 2 years ago, and there's no expectation like City to just like continue, winning every season. That they've got hands up and they're like, yeah, we won 4 in a row. You can't expect us to win all the time. I think that there's an expectation that we would fall off that didn't happen, and people want to turn that into pressure that we must win or Arteta must get shot. So, it is what it is. People want my
I think
manager
though
back.
the pressure goes back on Arteta because of how Man City have been performing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In
but-
terms of like,
That doesn't mean
Because-
that we're guaranteed to be at the top or anything. There's no
No,
guarantee.
but
to
what
be
I'm
there.
saying-
You guys were supposed to build off of last season.
yeah, exactly. It was you got closer. The previous season 5
Yeah.
points. This season 2 points. This was supposed to be, and going back to summer, we were all on the shows about the recruitment. This is supposed to be get the final pieces. Boom. That's supposed to
Right,
like
we
that.
get the final pieces.
Huh?
We didn't get the final pieces, so I don't.
That's what I'm
expect us to
saying.
be
Yeah, I
there.
know. Yeah, well, you don't. Well, we know all your strikes.
Arteta's gonna unlock Sterling.
Hey, we're going to see the best. in India.
I
Don't
couldn't
worry.
believe when you hear that. That was typical Arsenal fan stuff right there. They're just going,
for
oh,
real.
when they were saying Marino's gonna unlock the whole left side of the pitch.
It's unlocking, but there's no keys. There's no keys.
Yeah, I think we need to sign a striker in January. Apparently, I'm famous in
Just a backup to
Chelsea
Havertz, though,
circles.
right? Just a backup to
Yeah.
Havertz.
Because I said that what's his name, Guacamole would be back up as a Havertz, and apparently
Guacamole.
But I love the fact that Martin is downplaying it like it's not a crazy opinion. The fact you say Gyökeres is a backup to Havertz is a mad opinion, because some would claim that Gyökeres is having a better season than even Haaland right now.
Yeah, but this is Portuguese league tax, and when he comes into the team, he's back up. If he makes his way to first place, like that's his own job, But like,
You can see
he's not
Portuguese
walking in.
I can't even say anything on the Portuguese league tax because I employ Nunes, so I get where he's coming from.
Hey, I can't say anything. I'm close to Man
He did score a hat trick against City.
Yes, he did. This is true. Ching ching. See, Marshall, we love sound effects like this. 1 second, ching ching, khalas, done. Not 7 minutes later, it's still going. This is the perfect type.
Marshall,
of
you
sound
need to do on your own casually, no problem, length of time because it's your own channel. On other, you need to do a shorter package on other channels. That's all.
Yes, shorter
Yeah, you're
package.
right.
Ching ching. Oh my god, like stuff like this is fine.
Fair enough.
Half of it is me taking the piss out of my own fan base that is just obsessed with Gyökeres and everything that he does, and TK is one of these guys. So it's fun to tease these guys because he was supposed to be the savior.
I will say, like, going back to
TK
the
definitely has
Suns,
Gyökeres posters in his room. He's in love with Gyökeres at this point.
Yeah.
I will say,
But
going back
Martin,
to the,
and quickly, just to wrap up this Arsenal section, everyone as well, ask you this question before we head to Chelsea. Is everyone in agreement? Next 7 games, win all of them.
Yeah, I was just about to say. And listen, with Arsenal, they're fully capable of doing it. We've seen them go on crazy runs, winning runs. So listen, they could do it. I don't know if they will, but they can do it. And I
as
think
long as Saka and Odegaard don't get injured.
yeah, as long as they don't lose key players FC, right? So we'll see what happens.
Wait, can I get a bit of credit for Raya too? I think he's quietly becoming one of the best keepers around.
Yes,
Oh,
very
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I'll give him his flowers. Last season I
very
wasn't
good.
convinced, but this season for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think Raya is now second in terms of like who's the best Premier League keeper overall. Let's not argue one. Stop it.
I can't
But
argue that.
second is
I can't argue that. Yeah, I can't argue that. Behind Keller, right?
No.
somewhere Ziad saying Sanchez. Somewhere Ziad is saying Sanchez. I can't lie to you.
That's what Kelleher.
Even Ziad's not that deluded.
Jump through the screen and punch him when he said that.
Did you see what I asked him on Ahwa? I'm like, would you take Kelleher at Chelsea? He's like, nah. I'm like, bro, are you actually like Ziad? Are you sure there is no cocaine in the kiwis you eat? Like, are you actually okay?
And then he followed it up by showing Jack Grealish in the Chelsea shirt. I wanted to pull what left of my hair out. What are we doing?
I can't lie to you. So many Chelsea fans messaged me after that stream going like, what the hell is Ziad doing? He said no to Kelleher. I'm like, bro, what is actually wrong with the
I missed
you?
it
Like,
live, or else you would have seen me in the chat, like literally like capital letters words swearing at him.
unpopular opinion, if Chelsea had Kelleher in their current Chelsea team, they'd probably be closer to us than even City or Arsenal.
He's not letting in the Arsenal though. He's not letting in the Arsenal goal at the near post that Sanchez did. No keeper is letting that goal in at the near post. Sanchez is on pump.
Well, Edison's fallen off. That's all I know. He's quickly. Edison has fallen off. He's quickly becoming.
Let's calm down. Let's calm down on Edison.
He's a midfield player.
Edison has definitely fallen off this season. He's been absolutely atrocious, to be honest with you. Okay, let me just do a couple of these superstars before we move on to Chelsea. You get me? We're going to be talking about, is Enzo Maresca cooking? Big up to Mr. K, who says, we do have decent backups in Gomez and Kwanzaa. I am more afraid on both flanks. Simicast still out and Bradley now out as well. No backup for Robertson and Trent just come back, so we'll be fragile. Listen, man, the injury thing is hitting now quick. Thank God we're closing in on January, so we can make a couple of adjustments, but I doubt we'll do it given the history of my club, my owners. What we do in January, just fucking fuck around in every transfer window. But I hope we are different this time, because we need to be different. If Arne Slot is not backed in his second window while being top of the league by 6 points, by 7 points, by 8, by 9, by 10, by whatever, then it's a problem for me. Do I trust Joe Gomez? Yes. I trust Joe Gomez. I trust Trent. But you can't play them in every bloody game. And people need to understand something as well. Over this next month, just for the people who are unaware, we've got Champions League fixtures and we've got Carabao Cup fixtures as well. So what, are you just going to roll up Trent? You want to know how many games we have in December? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 games we've got. 9 games in December, bro. You can't play Trent in all of them. Like, you need to rotate. The rep has no objectivity when it comes to Arsenal. No objectivity. Martin.
This rep.
That's crazy. That's crazy, Bermuda Gunnar, but fair enough. We need 3 GDPs to fix this mess. Yo, Abud has had enough of Man City. Abud has had enough of Man City. Hey, big up Abud. Hey, big up Abud, bro. Thank you for the super chat. How is managing LFC? No pressure if we were 8th then? No, the reason why I say there's pressure on Arsenal to win the league is you've already finished second twice and proceeded to have a better window than us. Whether you like Calafiori or not, whether you like Marino or not, whether you like Sterling or not. We signed Federico Chiesa. We finished behind you 2 seasons in a row. What we're not going to act like this is normal. Okay? So that's normal.
And also,
by the way,
Sam, FSG, with the contract situation, have nearly set up this guy to fail, you could even say. Do you know what I mean? Of not backing him in the transfer market and the contract's not being sorted out as well. Because he's being asked that in every interview afterwards and every press conference about, it's not one player, it's 3 players. If it was one player, you could like go, it's okay, this one out. And it's also 3 important players as well. And they're all coming out after games talking about it themselves as well. So it's like, what they literally just went, there you go, deal with all this shit and we'll see you later. That's what they just did. That's literally what they just did.
Big up to Bermuda Gunnar says, Klopp left pool with great players. You should expect Slot to do well with them. Husam, stop acting like Slot was not given the keys to the kingdom. Given the keys to the kingdom with no signing? What kingdom, Habib?
Yeah.
And the contract.
What manager gets that?
The kingdom that Klopp built.
As things stand, he just had to play Conor Bradley and Kelleher against Real Madrid, by the way. So people are aware. Like, the keys to the kingdom is such an insane statement, because in order to have the keys to the kingdom, you must be the king. The king gets what he wants. The king did not get a midfielder when he clearly stated in the summer he wants a midfielder. And all 3 players' contracts haven't been extended. Hey, must be a shit kingdom the way that you're putting it, to be honest with you. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
I want to say big up Liverpool for beating Real Madrid, because Real Madrid fan tears are a special flavor which we don't get to taste very often, and watching that reaction is absolutely hilarious.
I do agree with you. It does feel great to beat Real Madrid. I can't lie to you. It's a special feeling, to be honest with you. So yeah, big up to you though, Bermuda Gunnar. Look at Tyler. Man said lost in that triangle. Wow, wow, bro. Hey, my chat is relentless. But thank you for the super chat. Regardless, listen, there's 4 world class players in the squad. So yeah, that's what Slot inherited. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing. We're gonna move on to Chelsea before we wrap up the stream. Let's get to 200 likes. We're only 15 likes away from 200, so let's get there, Habibis. Every single one of you guys, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. And let's talk Chelsea. Martial, is Enzo Maresca cooking right now?
I think he is. I think you look in hindsight now, people, rivals, Chelsea fans were laughing at the fact that he had said in a press conference that, one thing he was told in Italy was if you don't win, just don't lose. And listen, with the state of the league and how it is this season, if I had told anyone that we're only going to lose against City and Liverpool, you probably would have laughed at me. Obviously, dropping points against United and Arsenal, especially in the context of the games and the context of what happened in the league at the time, isn't great. But at the same time, we stayed above them, and they didn't get over us. If we had lost that game, then there's 3 points they have, and we have no points, and we're not progressing or adding up those points and stacking up the points. And now we're in a position where we're 1 point away from overtaking City for second place. It's crazy to even say that. If we beat Villa, which I would hope we do, I don't think we have a very bad track record against Villa, especially at home. I don't think they did. I remember
they beat us 1-0 and Gusto got sent off, and then Sterling did one of his no look passes.
Yeah.
Because of his freaking 5 games. When someone's like, you rather shoot instead of passing it for an open goal. This guy. Watch out, Martin. Watch out, he doesn't do that to you, Martin.
Don't let him backstab you.
The other day against Sporting, so he's all right.
Yeah. But I think with Villa, in the FA Cup we clapped them, and then in the league in the return leg of the league, I think we ended up beating them as well. All right, you see, I try not to remember last season because I had a clown as a manager. It's okay. But right now with Unai Emery, I think they've been in a weird patch of form. I think I'm not going to say they've been in a bad patch of form. I think in recent results have been a little better.
7 or something like that. I heard that, but I didn't back it up.
And they performed very weirdly after Champions League games as well. The record after Champions League games is not that good.
Yeah.
So to speak, is very patchy, to say the least.
So I think the results don't reflect how bad they've been. I would say that they have actually performed pretty well in unlucky games.
Didn't you play them after the Champions League game and you beat them 4-1? Was that?
Yeah, but again, they played really good. They didn't actually play bad against.
Yeah, they did. They actually started very well. They actually started very well against Spurs. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be a good game. I think Chelsea can win, especially in the form that we're in and how Maresca approaches every game. I think he always has. I like that he's very tactical and he approaches every game very differently. And listen, if we get a result, and I don't expect City to get a result, we're going to be in second next week. And then at that point, it's just an easy run of games. Just keep consistent, get the wins, keep stacking up the points, and see where we are at the end of December.
You guys are only ahead of us on goal difference, right? So you might need to stack in the goals. But I just checked. Yeah, Villa they drew to Bournemouth. Mm-hmm. Lost to Palace, lost to Tottenham, lost to Club Brugge, lost to Liverpool.
They drew to Palace 2-2.
No, 2-1.
Yeah, last they drew 2-0 down, weren't they?
2-2. Yeah, I see right now.
EFL they lost, and then later on they drew 2-2.
So they haven't been as dominant as they have been before, but
Villa, Arsenal, and City have all gone through some kind of crisis. So you guys, there's an opportunity there to just get in there by default. Everyone else seems to be stumbling around you, so. I think Maresca deserves credit for what he's got to tune out of this team. I think Poch deserves some of the credit because of what he did to the team just before he got fired, but you guys will hate to hear that. But it's all right to give like previous people credit. You guys don't have to hate.
I am not a clown.
Get out of here.
But I'm just trying to get you to be nice to Havertz and Sterling. But honestly, I think that he has as much chance as Arsenal to get into some kind of title race. Just because it's not expected doesn't mean that it can't happen. And you guys should probably like put a bit more expectation on the team.
Don't you? I see what Mike's doing here. You can't try this team.
Listen, no matter what happens, you will have the pressure. You're not taking the pressure off yourself.
I'd be like, the pressure just on us and everyone.
Thanksgiving was yesterday, bro. Thanksgiving was yesterday.
That's what it is. Don't try that, mine. Don't try it. You're not dealing with rookies there, mate. You're not dealing with Ziyad here. You know what I mean? You're not dealing with rookies.
They hate when the spotlight's on them. But,
what we'll say about Maresca is he's changed level of expectations from us and on himself. That's what he does. That's what he's done. So level of expectation now changes. You know what I mean? We're in a top 4 race, but we're in a strong position for the top 4 race. And this run of games, probably minus like obviously Villa and Spurs and something like that, we should be getting a lot of points during this run because of who we face. Now, if he doesn't get a lot of points during this game, the questions that are going to need to be asked, but he needs a lot of credit for what he's done, because even like you said, even myself, I think I said to Husam, I think I said 6 before the transfer window started, but then I said battle for top 4 because we didn't get a goalkeeper or a striker, but he needs to keep it going. I mean, he needs to keep it going.
Do you think he's got any issue with player management? Because you guys have got 2 squads basically, right? That Nkunku sounds like he wants first team, or he's going. Like, I think there might be a little bit of pressure there because of the amount of players that want to be first team at Chelsea. But
the only issue he doesn't have is because we're not losing a lot, so he can just say, "Well, I'm having positive results." You know what I mean? So you really can't chat to me. Do you know what I mean? If we were losing, then you could go, "Yeah, he's got to do this." What I will say is, I think the timing of his substitutions for Nkunku needs to be better.
100%.
Bringing him on in the 87th minute against you lot means nothing. Do you know what I mean? Bringing him on for 12 minutes. The longest substitution experience he's had is about 25 minutes against West Ham when we were already 3-0 up, and he took off Jackson and Palmer and stuff like that. But then, like I said, because he's having a positive season so far, even no matter what Nkunku wants, you can't really go that much against Maresca because we're having this season. If we were if we were like under Lampard, we were losing all the time, then you go, "Player, why aren't you playing Nkunku? You should go," stuff like that. But we're starting to see now. He's starting to figure out. He's picking like nearly the same 7 or 8 players every match for the Premier League match.
100%.
Anyway, so we're getting some type of familiarity that we haven't had for the past 2 stuff like that. And the injuries at the moment aren't biting us that much as they've done the previous year or so. So the only thing I will say, the biggest black mark against him is continuation of picking Sanchez in goal. That'll be the one player that will cost him this season. That 100%. Will cost him something. Will cost him something big. You know what I mean? So not just like a game, but like out of a cup, or like we're strolling along and we're winning. And it will cost.
Hey guys, Jordz has to go now. Make sure guys go subscribe to Durag Diaries. Thank you, Jordz, for joining us. Appreciate you, brother.
Big up.
Durag Diaries in the description. Go subscribe. Let's get him to 1K. Big up to you.
Yeah.
I think.
Can I ask both of you frauds something?
Whenever you're doing shows, you asked us so nicely. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, since you did.
Whenever you're with a show with me or Martin or any Liverpool or Arsenal or City fans, you always talk about expectations and pressure and all that shit. As things stand, you're 1 point behind City. Most likely will lose at Anfield. City, that is. If you do beat Aston Villa at home, which you are capable of, you're going to be above City in the league. What's the expectation on Chelsea then? Because there are Chelsea fans talking about title races for real.
You see, you're the leopard in the tree, yeah? Right?
What are you?
We started planning permission to build above you in the tree. Okay, so
We're the Blue Lion in the background building a skyscraper.
We are the blackbirds in the tree. We're nesting. That's all we're doing above you. While that's all we're doing.
Tree is gonna collapse.
We're just the vultures. We're waiting for the scrap to finish up.
This tree is reinforced with vibranium. That's what we'll be up there. Actually, someone said it.
We're making a Marvel movie.
We're not left.
You notice, Martin, he hates when I do this, but then he did it himself.
Here we go. We're not leopards. We're meerkats. That's we are. We're meerkats. We're
the meerkat in the bush. Don't steal my comment section comments. Fraud.
Yeah, we steal that. We're the meerkats. We're digging out underground and we're just looking above. We're just making sure who's there like that before we can do anything.
Yeah.
I would only say
At least say you're the snakes. It suits you more.
That's fine. I would say we're in a title race, Martin. You will only hear me say we're in a title race when we're 10 points ahead when there's only 3 games left in the league season. That's the only way.
That's not a title race. That means you've won it, you fraud. 10 points ahead, then even if you lose the next 3, you still won the league. Look at this guy.
No, because I was still the
goalkeeper is a big difference. Yeah.
Man said 10 points ahead with 3 games to go. That means you're league champion.
What about this hypothetical? What if you lose to Aston Villa, Spurs win, Forest win, Arsenal win, City draw, and you're in like 8th position? Are you Maresca out next weekend?
No.
No.
Do you know, on a side note, Brighton played tonight and they could go second. Brighton can go second tonight if they beat Southampton. On a side note, Brighton can go second before any
There's no way that's
there.
That's true. They're
Yeah.
playing tonight against Southampton. They're on 22 points.
Yeah, no, the table is really close. So technically, like, if we're in the title,
by the end of the day,
if we're in a title race, then so are a bunch of other people behind us.
Yeah,
to be honest, that's how close it is. Yeah. Listen, the reason there's 2 things that hold me back from like having chest and saying like, oh, we're in the title race is 1, the goalkeeper situation. The goalkeeper situation is so drastic. Like, I really hope in January we figure out something or we decide to. I think after yesterday's game, Jurgensen is made a clear statement that I should be the number 1. So hopefully maybe we see him play and things turn around. And the other thing is too that with Maresca, he's like the wild card in this league right now because we haven't seen what he can do in the Premier League, whereas Arsenal are still in the title race, even though they're behind us on the table because we've seen they can win multiple games in a row. They can win 15 in a row if they wanted to, like if they decide to step up and all their players stay fit. We haven't seen that with Chelsea. Like,
here's the expectations, and I will say this. I expect of the next 6 games, 16 to maximum points in the next 6 games. That's what I expect.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay? Anything lower than that, I will be asking questions. If it's not
I
like
will say
questions.
I will say just
I'll be going like I'll be going because listen. We got a good Villa will be a tough game, but we've got generally a good record against them at home, right? Then we got Southampton away. We should be beating Southampton. Then we got Spurs away. I always expect to beat Spurs because we own them. And then I can't remember. We've got like Fulham, Ipswich, Everton, and Brentford, right? So I should expect I expect 16 to maximum points, 16 to 18 points over the next 6 games.
Yeah, but the Premier League doesn't work like that, boys. It's dangerous.
I know it doesn't. But what I'm saying is that's how much the expectations have changed from the manager or what he's given us the fan base. That I expect that. I expect that. I'm not saying we're going to battle them, but I expect a load of points over the next 6 games to not saying title race, but definitely to consolidate top 4 or top 3.
And this season, like when you think about it, this season our defeats are to Man City and Liverpool, and I wish we were playing Man City now. Maybe that defeat isn't a defeat. And then we drop points against Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest, who Nottingham Forest are a formidable side, as Liverpool know, and the rest of the I can't say, but that's a different story. But what I will say is that, and just to give a clippable moment to Husam here, what I will say for Maresca, I truly do believe that he is telling these players, and he won't say it out loud. I do believe he is trying to win the league, and I think for him, the mentality is aim for the moon and land in the stars. Because if you go for the league, you exceed expectations, but at least you'll be a lot closer to that top 4. Because he says like, oh yeah, the owners don't expect top 4 or whatever. He comes out in these press conferences and say all this stuff. Listen, Pochettino said the same thing, and then he ended up getting sacked at the end of the season, right? So I think he's well aware he needs to get top 4. So I think he's telling these players and instilling this mentality of like, you guys, we're good enough, we're a serious team, we can win the league, all this and that. And I think the players believe it, and they're playing really well. Time will tell, obviously, at the end of December if it keeps up.
I don't know what it is, though, with Chelsea and I know Mourinho's obviously our greatest ever manager, but Chelsea and Italian managers just seem to...
Aboud.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Said in true Arsenal fashion, aim for the stars and land on the moon. Let's go.
That's the opposite of what I
That's
said.
the cringest comment you've ever made in your life, Aboud. And you know you're my brother, you always support the channel. That's why you're a mod. But that's so cringe. Because you see these two below me, they're getting away with murder because they spent 1.5 billion, bro. And they're talking about landing on the moon and aiming for the stars. Why are you giving them the out?
No.
But that much money,
If they're above
what do you
Arsenal,
wanna do?
they're in a title race. If they're above City, they're in a title race.
Well,
those two teams
what?
have shown.
There are Chelsea fans who say you're in a title race. What?
Those two,
What?
those Chelsea fans
What?
don't understand.
Hang on. If you draw,
I will call Don right now. He'll tell you if Arsenal are the
no.
title race, then
If
you
you
are the mighty
listen,
Chelsea.
I will say
He
this
said
to you
it.
right now. I'll say this to you right now. I don't care if it clips it. If you draw and we win, then we're in a title race.
Yes,
Wow.
finally.
Yeah, we got something.
Because it's 7 points.
Finally,
Wow.
7 points. No, because it's,
It is.
because
It
it's
is.
7 points. It's 7 points, right? 7 points is it can be made up. You know what I mean. We've seen bigger, smaller ones made up. We can 7 points. I'll talk title race until we. You know what? I'll talk title race until it's mathematically okay. I'll retract my statement earlier. Four
You're in a
games.
title race where you want.
I would talk title race until we're mathematically unable to win a title.
Because the
See,
one
I
thing about
expect this
the
from
project, the
myself,
billion
not from
pound
you,
project
Surfer.
you have is you have hella players, bro.
Yeah,
And you
Yeah,
play
we do.
Yes.
And with all due
But-
respect, you play Conference League. Like if
Yeah,
I put
I don't
Marshall
know the
right
name
back
of-
against
I don't know
Heidenheim,
the
you
name
do
of the
one.
team who we beat. I don't know the name of the team who we beat last night. I can't remember the name.
Heidenheim, no one's art.
Heidenheim. They sound
No.
like they're in a 4
Yeah.
film or something.
But
sound like they're in 9
it's-
films.
Yeah.
You know
What
what's
makes
funny?
me
I actually watched a
hesitant is
documentary
the
about
track
Heidenheim,
record.
who were in like 3rd division of German football 8 years ago or something crazy. And now they're like,
Mhm.
they made it.
I
I
do know
swear,
they
go
beat
watch the
Bayern.
documentary. They were probably like in the 2nd or 3rd division like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, they're new to the Bundesliga. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think-
Obviously, he has to win, I guess. Or people are gonna.
This is all City's fault, which is why. Also, let me
It
tell you
is.
two blue bastards something quickly. If we beat City this Sunday, I'm your last hope. I hope you know this. Because I know for you guys, you're on that anyone but Arsenal thing. And I've already compiled a list
You're very close.
of Chelsea fans who are Liverpool allies. Liverpool ally Chelsea fans. You get me? Because
got a lot
people.
warmer over there. I noticed. You used to be
Yeah.
public enemy number 1. Now you're kind of like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
this-
Now on the list of Liverpool allies is Dinishan,
That's
Blaze,
awful,
Zedel, Salman, Ulufemi. Those 5 are Liverpool allies list.
This is
You
your
get me?
fault. It's your club's fault, Martin, for being up there.
Yeah,
There's another
seriously,
club who
Martin.
will be against Liverpool.
Now I'm being
It's
labeled
your
as a
being
Liverpool
club's fault
ally.
for being up there. That's what it is. If this was Villa, everyone would be backing Villa against Liverpool. But it's your fault. It's your club's fault for being up there.
Mm.
Well, you're ahead of us.
You're forcing Chelsea-
closer to the top than
Do you
we
know what
are.
you're
so
forcing me to do? It's like when Liverpool played Spurs in the cup in the Champions League final. I had to root for Liverpool to win that
Yeah.
game. I don't root for Liverpool to win the game. I didn't want. I had to.
Yeah,
root
and
for
now guess what? Guess what, fraud? You have to root for Liverpool again. So hold on.
That hurts so much.
Hey, don't get
It
mad
does
at me.
hurt.
I'm 4th. I'm out of
See
the
here,
title.
one of the allies of Liverpool in the chat. See, Olufemi, right there. Jackson profile picture, and he's saying this.
I think that's Drogba, but it's
That's
okay.
Drogba.
That's not Drogba. That's the new kit, bro.
No, it's not.
No, that's Samsung. We don't have a sponsor.
We don't have a Samsung.
We don't have
You know
a
what are you
sponsor.
talking about? You know what I'm talking about? You can hold that, Sam. You fraud. You fraud, Sam.
I was close, okay? At least it was the striker position. It's not like I said one
you got
matter.
very close. Yeah, you got close. Yeah. Just that whole sponsorship missing. That was all it was.
My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm unaware of Chelsea sponsors. Crazy.
don't have one.
I should be fully aware of the Chelsea sponsorship program.
That's why we're not winning the league. We don't have a sponsor. We're not ready.
That one, yeah.
Sponsorship hype. Anyway, listen, we're gonna wrap up the stream here. This was very enjoyable. I'll be honest with you. I like the kind of thing we got going around here. Flawless and Martin were supposed to fight, but he couldn't make today's stream.
Wait, hang on. So you're a leopard. We're meerkats. What's Arsenal?
The elephant in the tree. We were in the tree.
Oh, Arsenal is the hyena.
Ah,
Well,
Oh yeah, I remember the yeah.
The hyena doesn't go in the tree, so that's
Yeah, but what are the three most deadly cats or like animals in the jungle? Number one is lion, which is Man City. Hyenas are actually more dangerous than leopards, factually.
Yeah, they got
And
a hard
We,
The reason why
we
Arsenal
can't
have
even
to be
be
the
our
hyenas.
own mascot.
The reason why Arsenal have to be the hyenas is because they're the
That's
loudest fan
Arsenal's always
base.
cheating,
So it
so-
fits.
that actually makes sense. The hyenas.
We are the meerkats. Meerkats.
There you go. We'll be there. We'll eat one day.
Meerkat has to be the worst. Like, it's just, yeah, love it.
No, what about
Anyway.
the lion?
Hey, come on.
What
We
are
see
you-
The lion is
King.
City,
They win
bro.
at the end.
Lion? No, but they're the shark, and the shark is.
Shark's
There
not
is-
on land. Be a shark.
There's
for?
no shark in the
Sharks
jungle.
go in the trees.
There is no shark in the jungle,
It's
brother.
just
There
a
is no
shark flopping.
What is
You
this?
can't change your branding. You need a shark all the time. You can't go, I'll be a lion.
Oh,
Who's Man United? The Jackals.
Yeah. The bats or something. I don't know.
They're the roadkill,
Something that
to be
eats them.
honest.
Man United are the warthogs. You know?
They're
Yeah, there you
antelope.
go. The antelope.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Anyway,
my
listen.
days.
Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing on your way out. Big up to everyone who sent a super chat. Big up to everyone who supported the channel. We're going to be back 11 p.m. UK time, inshallah, for the Liverpool stream. We've got 5 Liverpool fans coming on. Come lock in for that one. Big up to everyone who joined us on the panel. Go subscribe to Jordz Durak Diaries. Go subscribe to Casual FC for more of Marshall and Andrew. And go subscribe to Saad's Football Corner so you can find more of Martin. Big up to every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for always showing us love. And see you guys back, inshallah, at 11 p.m. UK time.
peace.
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 Big up.